theme that I'm going to push for you and the Young Automotive Group this year. And in a kind of a graphical format, so you get the picture. You kind of saw it on the video. But OnSong is everybody, everything working in perfect order to create optimal performance, right? Okay, now, there is 18 of us, 20 of us in this room. Now, if people are off song, it kind of makes the thing wobble. If accounting is off song, it makes things wobble and not work. If safety is off song, if sales are off song, okay, you get the flavor, right? That OnSong, all these elements, people, the process, the entertainment, they all have to come together as one, functioning as one. And once it functions as one, then you hear that special optimal performance. How fast do Formula One cars go? Any idea?
Like top speed?
Average speed.
Well, it depends on the tracks. 200? Yeah, they're over 200. 205.
They usually average 300 kilometers per hour. Quickly calculate that. 175 to 190, yeah. So, and to get that in all racing conditions. Does anybody know what it costs to do a race team in Formula One?
1 year?
1 year, well, just 1 year.
Like 50 million, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, for you to bond to even get in, like a $20 million bond just to even build a car.
Low end, 300 million. You have to spend $500 million to be in Formula One racing. So that's serious business. Now, I should have started this room saying, here we are. What we do is serious business. We're not here just to have fun race cars and eat and drink hot dogs, you know. We're here to make money and to be on song. So, I come back to, in any relationship, in any business, we need to have all departments, all people come to be on song. Do you see how that needs to be balanced? What could throw it off balance? Now, okay, before I answer that, and I've told this story maybe to you, but many times. I sat down with a banker when I was 25 or 26 in the executive dining room of First Security Bank when they had one, and when First Security was here. And I was kind of intimidated with about 10 bankers around me asking me, okay, Spencer, what is the most important key to your success? Have I told this story? I know I've told you this some. Okay, if I haven't told you this, I was I was ambitious, I was a little cocky maybe, but what I told them was I told them what I thought they wanted to hear me say. I told them, well, it's obvious, it's capital. I got to have enough capital to operate. Over the years, I found out that was wrong. I said the wrong thing. I said something that probably I wanted to appease somebody that was a banker. What do you think is the most important thing to be on song? People. People. Oh, that makes so, that people working together and having the right people makes things so much easier. I can run a business very lean and hardly any capital if I have the right people. You know, if I have the wrong processes or haven't honed in on the right processes, if I have the right people, they will make that work, right? So process is critical. So tell me about a process. First tell me about people, how they can get off song.
Agreeing with each other, not listening to each other.
Not listening, not agreeing, not trying to compromise, not trying to work together, avoiding the situation, there's lots of things. And all of a sudden, if that starts happening, that circle comes off song, right? Now, what happens when something happens, it goes way away from being on song? You break, right? And think of it in any situation. Think of it in a family. You come off song, it breaks. Think of it in a child-mother relationship. If they're not on song, and if they get far enough off song, I hear people, I haven't talked to my mother for 20 years. And you go, really? How do they get so off song? Processes. So if processes get off song, what would be a process that could get off song? Safety director. What could a process that could get us off song?
Any part of what you're putting together as a team, one little mistake, that would break, that'd make it the process.
One little mistake. I'm going to go through a couple videos. A couple videos I watched and studied Formula One, and I'm happy to send that along to you. It's 2 hours of kind of the history of Formula One. And they talk about 1/1000ths. So the teams are working, and by the way, the teams are 450 people per team. There's 11 teams, 2 cars. Okay? They can put 2 cars in, and there's 11 teams. By the way, the guy that is running Formula One today, that's a billionaire,
Thank God he's out there.
Is the biggest
he
bigot
started out
hater.
he started out as a used car salesman.
That's right.
The guy that, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, I just forgot. I'd have to look at my notes. But he was a Brit, and he started as a used car salesman, and now he has his own race team and is highly competitive. I just forgot his name. It might come to me in a second. It's interesting how 2 of the top guys in that small group started as used car salespeople. And you think, okay, here in this room, what can we accomplish? Well, those guys are selling used cars and used parts. And now they're billionaires running an organization that has a viewership of, do you know how much a year? A year? They have a viewership worldwide of 1 billion people. Each race, 350 million view Formula One.
Bernie Ecclestone.
Yes, that's the current, the guy that's running the deal. Do you get the concept of OnSong? Now, if you get the concept of OnSong, I want you to embrace that in this meeting, okay? Because we all need to be on song. And I like the term, and I'll get to it here in just a second. I like the term of we are engineering our future. Okay? We are engineering what we're going to do next year. Just like when the 450 people that run the team of a Formula One race car, they sit down and they engineer what they're going to do next year. And then they execute that plan. Okay, so I want you to take out your little notes. I'm not going to cover all of them. I might cover all of them through the day, but I'm going to cover a few, and I'd like you to write to the side how it applies to us. Now, these terms, terminology, these keys, these secrets of success to engineer a Formula One. Now, we are engineering our formula for next year to be highly successful. Okay? Now, Kelly Spence, is the racetrack going to make money this year?
Yes.
Now, Spence, is the racetrack going to make money this year? Kathy, is the racetrack going to make money this year?
Who am I to argue with important people?
Well, you're the one that has to do what you just said.
Yeah.
So, no pressure.
Oh, okay. And
But I know who to ask.
okay, so I believe the racetrack will make money this year. We've looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and there's reasons why, because of property things that came from the racetrack. Okay. Do you know how many times it took? I just forgot his name. Frank Williams, I think it is. He started out a used car salesman, he wanted to get into racing, finally got into Formula One racing. Do you know how many times it took him to win one race? Yeah, you read it. 100 times. He failed 100 times. Have we been in business 100 years, Kathy?
Not yet.
Okay. Number one, competitors are just as good, and they are set to destroy you. The competitors are just as good. I was sitting downstairs in the atrium reading this automotive news, thinking about this, thinking, hey, Acura takes a page from Subaru. They're going to copy Subaru. And you go, oh, shit. I got this Subaru franchise and it's killing it. And now they're going to copy Subaru because Subaru is so successful. Then I look at this one. For Tesla, the best offense is defense. And of course, all of the car dealers are worried about Tesla and how they're going to come in and take over the car market. And Ford asked top suppliers for disaster plans. Let's see. Another Chevy to get another EV. That sounds pretty good. How about this one? Who just bought about 80 or 90 dealerships? Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. All of a sudden he thought, wow, these dealerships, that's a good investment. So he went out and bought one of the biggest groups. Here's Rick Hendricks, here's response. Dealership consolidation is coming, but how fast and how much? And then he says, I'm not worried about not being able to buy deals because Warren Buffett came on the scene. I don't see him any different than AutoNation, Ashbury, Penske, or anybody else. So I bring that up to say your competitors are just as good. And they are set to destroy you. That is Formula One. That's Formula One, and that's their position. They've got 11 other competitors spending $500 million to beat them on the racetrack, right? So who are our competitors? Every entertainment venue out there, right? And they are set, dead set, sitting in a meeting like this, trying to figure out their formula, how to crush us. So we, as a team, a Formula One team, need to be OnSong. Another one, down to 14, he mentioned it, over 100 attempts before Frank Williams, the Williams race team, won a race. And just a side note, I learned this in that video. I learned this while I was traveling in Germany. Without giving it away, those that know, guess who dominated Formula One in the late 20s and early 30s? Who? Germany. Hitler. Hitler did. He said, I'm sick and tired of those Brits beating us in Formula One. So he stepped in with who? Mercedes, with his best engineers to engineer a car that could smoke everybody else. And they did not lose a race since he got involved. And so Mercedes just wiped everybody out until about 1939 when the war broke out, and that was it. Number 17, 18, and 19. Okay, I come back to 14. Just a note off to the side. Over 100 attempts before you win. Never give up. Can you make money on drag racing? Yes. Can you make money on midnight drags? Yes. Can you make money on a Top Fuel show? Yes. Can you make money on a oval track off-week show? Yes. You gotta believe you can do it. If you don't believe, you will never do it. So it took him 100 times. He finally raced. He's still racing, even though he's a quadriplegic. Now, he's not racing, but he got in a bad accident, and he was a quadriplegic. He was not the racer at the time. He was out testing a car. 17, 18, 19, work hard. And I love, and this comes right from the video, the history, part 1, part 2, of what Formula One is. Working from dawn to dusk. And I know you guys do that during the season. I feel for you. I text Mike at 3 in the morning. I see his text at 1 in the morning. I know how tired you are. I know how dirty you are. And that's why I say I'm so grateful, because you're unique. And number 19, I really like this one. It is a horrifying commitment. But if you want to win, going back to number 1, if you want to win your competitor, you have to be horrifying committed to doing this. Number 20, practice. They practice. And it goes along with 21. They have a 4-post trial. They call it a jumping jar, and they put it on there for hours. Every component. And by the way, they engineered them so well. Now, you're an engineer, right? They engineered Formula One so well, they don't need drivers anymore. About 10 years ago, they said they had them engineered so well. The team got together and figured out every nano thing where we don't even need a driver. That's when the rules came out and said, hey, we won't have 350 million spectators watching a bunch of remote control cars going around the track. That doesn't work. Okay? So they had to back off all of that engineering. And so they have a lot of engineering, and then there's people. Because people like watching people and machines. Okay? So, but it comes back to practice. Now, how does that apply to us? Now, I know, Tom, you practice, and you need to continue to practice, because safety is the most important thing. And sometimes we forget about that practice. We need to practice how to bring people in the gates. We need to practice how to people exit the gates. We just say, hey, when they leave, give them high fives, or thank you when they leave. But do we ever practice that? Do we ever say, everybody show up, and let's have 3 or 4 or 5 dry runs, people leaving the gate and thanking them a certain way? No, that's not how you do it. You do it this way. And then they become good at it. Do we practice? Another one, number 26. And I'm all with you on this, meaning I am weak too. You need to get your hands dirty. And the Formula One guys, again, this all comes from the history of Formula One. They believe you have to get your hands dirty. That means, Doug, did you flip hamburgers? Absolutely. You know. Did I go out in the pit enough? I did not. Do I need to? Absolutely. Mike, did you go in the pits and shake hands?
Yeah.
Yes. You have to get your hands dirty to be successful in the highest level. You know, sometimes we think the highest level, we can stand back and let others do it. But here's Formula One, billion-dollar budgets, people that are billionaires in the pits helping their driver. Number 28. I really like this one, again, as it relates to us. Focused on great engineering. And that's what you're doing right now. You're going to engineer how to be higher successful than last year. So we're going to engineer some things. I love this one, 29. And forgive me if I get passionate about stuff. Pace is phonetic. Now again, that OnSong concept, there's a certain boom, there's a certain sound when everything's perfect. Pace is phonetic, meaning as we get rolling, as we get on song, as people are loving coming, as they leave, they love leaving, as they want to come back, and as you get involved with each other and you love seeing each other, that's a pace that's phonetic. It's on song. Number 30, this is their motto. We must improve daily, weekly, yearly. Number 36. Oh, I love this one. This is Kelly Moss's motto.
Because of his background in psychology.
This was regarding Frank Williams. They asked him, would you entertain hiring Michael Schumacher? And of course, Michael Schumacher, the most winningest Formula race driver ever, the highest paid athlete ever, making $600 million a year at one time. They asked him about that. Anyway, some of his comments were, yeah, I'd hire him, but he couldn't tell me who to hire as his team. He couldn't tell the mechanics what to do. He couldn't tell us how to run the team. He couldn't tell anything. And if he started to, he'd be gone. And I liked what he said. No psychological support to drivers. They must perform, period. He says, and you think about us as OnSong, you know, and I know we're all humans. I know we all have families. I know we all have lives after the business. I like that thought. There's no psychological support for the drivers. They must perform, period. And guess who's drivers in this room? Every one of us are drivers. Number 37, he said, I expect almost perfection from my driver. Number 40, I had a typo here, scratch out the W. There is no dwelling on past successes. They have to start again the new year with the knowledge they have and find every nano measurement to gain 100,000% betterment. That's what we're doing here. No dwelling on past successes. Number 43, we are designing the formula. And that is so exciting to sit with you and design the formula for success. I hope you think and feel that's exciting. Number 44, this is the secret advantage. This is the secret advantage that we have that maybe others don't. That we'll go that one extra mile, that 1/100,000th, that we can beat the Bees, the Real, Larry Miller's Racetrack, the theaters, the Hale Center Theater, on and on and on. Number 49, engineer. This is science. This is not cosmetic. We just don't want to make it beautiful. We want to be scientific about this, engineer the formula, and then execute it. 51, I really like this one. Avoid drag. And you racers, you understand drag. How does that apply to us? Avoid the drag.
Don't let the negativity bring you down.
Yeah, we shouldn't have negativity. And think about it. Who's dragging us down? Why are you dragging us down? Get rid of the drag. Engineer getting rid of the drag. We need to be on song. We got to get that vehicle performing at optimal level. And we are the vehicle. And the last one, and then I'll go through some others if we have time. 63. I hope you understand the concept of OnSong. That will spell success for us in the future. I'd like to cover a couple more things on the Formula One engineering secrets. If you go to that page again, now, if you noticed, and I'll keep this kind of rolling a little bit, we want to be on song. Everybody on song. I did hear accountability. We talked about accountability. Watching every penny, every dollar, every dime, every expense. And so we're a little bit off song there. Okay? Now, does that mean we all point our finger at Kathy? No. We're all in this circle. So, Ron, you need to look at how you bring your accountability in. Dan, you need to bring out your accountability in. Safety, accountability in. So, and again, we'll identify where we might be just a little off song. Okay? Okay, let's go through a couple of these things. Number 2, we talked about it briefly, but again, emphasize measured in 1,000ths of a second. The Mercedes team that's leading right now, I think they have 3 races left. Okay? I think they have 3 races left. And in fact,
Are they in Dallas?
I think they're in Texas this week. Yeah, they're only racing the U.S. this week. Now, so they got 3 races left. Now, as they sit down as an engineering team, and you are the engineering team, they're trying to think of their accountability to bring it into OnSong. Okay? Now, we're talking dollars, but they're talking millimeters, they're talking centimeters, they're talking nanoseconds. Okay, number 5, 6, 7, and 8. You need to be thinking, we got to do it better. So Formula One. Now this comes from Formula One teams. We got to do it better, guys. We got to do it better, team. Engineers, racers, mechanics. Takes discipline, takes money, and it takes attention to detail. Go down to 10. We talked a little bit about this. Mike mentioned it. Now, I kind of calculated real quick. We achieved 70% of what we set out to do, which is quite an accomplishment. Now, think of Formula One. Their payroll is $200 million. And they're making sure they don't miss a thing. You know, there is no room for you not getting it done. There's, what was that? There's no psychological help for you saying, "No, I didn't get it done."
They must perform, period.
Yep. So, number 10, everybody knows exactly what to do. Okay? Number 15, salespeople. You have unique things. You guys have unique skills. I look at you two first, but we all do. You have unique skills. You have something to sell that nobody else does. That's unique. And you have some selling tools. Selling and deal making. Not just selling. And think of Formula One now. They're out there making deals. Multi-million-dollar deals constantly. You do this, I'll do that. You do this, we'll come there. We'll do this, we'll... Number 22. This is daily, weekly, yearly. You need to modify. You need to be flexible to modify the plan. If the plan isn't working, you need to modify it. Number 27. I like this one. I like this one. Again, Formula One. You need to have the appetite to accomplish this stuff. You have the appetite to go after what we're engineering. The appetite kind of goes along with passion. Number 41. I like this one. The team, the 450-person team that the Williams team has, that spends $500 million a year to race 2 cars 17 times, I think it is. You are in a battle for supremacy. Okay, so team, our OnSong team, we are in a battle for supremacy. Not only in other tracks around the country, but I'm talking entertainment venues in Utah. 47. We talked about this already. Every centimeter counts. So Ron, you need to pay attention to every penny, every centimeter, every VHT inch, or quart, P's and Q's, pints and quarts. You know, Winslow, you need to pay attention to every dollar we spend. How efficient is that dollar? Every centimeter counts. Number 53, willing to absorbing the bumps. Bumps in the road, problems, a crash, somebody, your car is on song and burning down the track, and somebody's off song and bumps you, and then your tire falls off. Be willing to accept the bumps, modify, get your engineers together, get back on song. And the last one this time is 57. I like this one. You can defy gravity. You go, wow, how does that apply to us? Do you know a Formula One car can race upside down the same as it can race upside? No. The way it is tuned, the way its spoilers, the way it is aerodynamic, if it ran in a tube, it could flip upside down and race at 300 kilometers an hour, just like it could race flat. Okay? It can defy gravity. Now you think about how that applies to you. When I say to you, double what you're doing, you all will say, can't do it. Can't do it. If I said, you sell 5 million in sponsorships, and what did the guy, can't remember his name, the guy that took over the Real, they were selling like 1.5 million in sponsorships, and they were losing $1 million plus a year, and or more. He lost 71 million, I think, in 8 years. And the guy from Logan that bought him said, you will sell 10 million this year, and they'd never sold 1.5 million. And if I threw out there, you guys need to sell 5 million, we'd all go, we can't do it. You can defy gravity. Means there, maybe I should have pushed that a little bit further in. Gathering emails, real important. So maybe we're really off song on that, and we need to bring that back in to be an on song. Cost control, West Valley City, you brought that up. and maybe we can save a little bit in there and bring that into OnSong. Pit entertainment we talked about, and whether it be the cold pits or something to entertain them better, maybe we could bring that into OnSong. So hopefully you're getting the flavor of, hey, all of us are part of bringing everything OnSong to make that special sound. Turn to that column again, not column, my Formula One engineering secrets. Just a couple other secrets from Formula One. The highest level of almost any sport that I'm aware of. I don't know if a football team spends $500 million just to put 2 cars on the track. I don't know. Number 3, they said no one can stand still. No one can stand still. How that applies to you, you know, you got to be shaking and moving and be proactive in coming up with the changes. Don't make Mike say, Tom, you need to make these changes, or Steve, you need to make these changes, or Bob, you need to do this. You need to be proactive. Nobody can stand still. Number 9, everything's accounted for. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but tracking everything. And number 11, I kind of really like this one. We need to set the standard of performance. Now think about that. All our competition that is trying to destroy us, as Formula One says, all our competition for entertainment out there, we need to set the standards of performance. Number 16, we OnSong need to have pride in our team and each other. Number 24, I kind of like this one. You can take it in several different ways, but it's referring to more in aerodynamics and airplanes, correcting attitude, okay, and making sure it's flowing well. Okay, so that applies to our team as well. Are we all flowing well? Are we all aerodynamic? Can we change our attitude to fly better? Another one I liked, number 42. Our teams must act together, not separate. You know, you'd have different functions, different responsibilities, but we need to act together. Number 46, I really like this one. You need to lift to fly. You need to lift to fly. Think about an airplane. You know, you have to have lift to be able to get off the ground, to really gain altitude. And you go, how does that apply to this team? Can we lift each other up? Can we motivate each other? Can we thank each other? Can we help each other? Can we pitch in together as a team? And can we fly together? Number 52, I kind of thought this one, and I'll email you the video, the secret underside. The secret underside. And they talk about how the underside of the Formula One car is designed a certain way to minimize drag. And you think, how does that apply to us as a team? To the secret thing is not to undermine each other. You know, we undermine each other. We might speak badly of one another. That doesn't lift us. Number 55, there's corners all around us. I thought that was interesting. There's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be a racer. There's always going to be a fight. There's always going to be an accident. But if we practice well, work together as a team, we can handle any corner. And then the last one on this section that I like is number 58. Increase structural integrity. And that involves us as a team. If we're working together, if we're lifting each other, if we're not undermining each other, structurally as a team, we'll be stronger with the term integrity. I'm meaning it both ways. Not only integrity as far as strength, but integrity as far as trusting each other. I've added a few more circles. Let me add some more. And again, are you catching the concept?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, all these circles that are outside OnSong need to be inside OnSong, right? Yep. Okay. Respect for each other. Okay? Now, I think some is in OnSong, but there's some outside of OnSong. Okay, so you are the Formula One team. You need to have respect for each other and what each other does. Okay? Comfortable environment. I heard somebody say that very poignantly. Okay?
Did he use the proper words?
You know, he was very descriptive. So, I think we do have some comfortable environment, and we've improved on it. We talked about that. But I think we need to make a comfortable environment. Pit pricing, we talked about that. I think some of it's good, some of it's not so good. We talked about some new entertainment, and maybe there's some new stuff we need to bring in and keep the stuff that's in there. Marketing, Winslow brought up marketing. I think there's a lot of marketing that's working, but maybe we need to add a few more and bring it in. Here's a couple others that are, I think, real important. First, family balance. Family balance. Now, we talked about that as far as our staff and maybe some of our employees, but I want you and all of you to have family balance too. Because if you're out of balance, you're out of OnSong too. Okay? So your personal family needs to come into here, so you need to work that in. Family, we talked about family balance with our personnel, and there's some great ideas there, and maybe we could do something there to bring them inside of that OnSong optimal performance that we want to get to. Just a couple more of the terms from Formula One secrets. If you pull that sheet out, they kind of talked about technical warfare. We want to be on the cutting edge, whether that's be Pandora, or whether that's be timing system, or communication between each other, or it could be just technical warfare against our competitors, like I mentioned, that are set to destroy us. Kelly mentioned this. Know the value of money, number 12. Respect the value of money. You have a budget. Let's try to tweak that budget. Let's be accountable for that budget. Number 23, I really like that word, optimize. Optimize everything you do. Your costs, your efficiencies, your employees. Don't let them hang out. Don't let them wait too long. Don't let them take overtime. Train them, work with them. Number 38, I kind of like this. It doesn't quite fit in Formula One, but it must. Be calm and logical. It's hard to be angry and logical. I know I don't do that. Be calm and logical. Number 39, be strong. Be strong. Number 45, I think, is a good one. Evolution. We're in constant evolution. Things are changing. Things that used to work don't work. Races that were exciting aren't exciting. Racing that had a lot of cars don't have many cars, and we're evolving. And so is Formula One. Number 48, not upsetting the flow. How does that apply to our team? I don't get a chance to listen to the radio every week, and I don't get a chance to associate as Saturday's coming or Friday night's coming, and
Can I put a key word next to that?
Yeah.
Cooperation, that's a word that,
cooperation's good. You bet.
word that we're using a lot in the schools right now is cooperation among others.
Number 50, I really like, goes right along with OnSong. This team, if we get to OnSong, is perfect harmony. And we will hear it. We will physically hear it. Not only in the bank account, but we will hear it amongst ourselves. Perfect harmony. And then number 60, the whole team has to embrace it. You have to embrace all these secrets. And there are so many to embrace. I know Kelly and Spence asked me, holy crap, how are you going to cover 2 pages of this stuff? And I says, I know, we could speak for hours and hours and hours about this stuff, but it applies to us. You need to embrace all these secrets from the highest level of sports that do phenomenal things and plan and engineer every year the perfect car, the perfect team.
I think you were thinking
If I could have your undivided attention. Kelly, where'd you go?
I'm back. Leave it out there. Way to call him out there, boss.
hopefully it wasn't a trailer.
Hey Kelly, it was okay, we got that on camera.
I just wanted to add a few more on-song, off-song that we've talked about. Training, somebody mentioned. And I think on-song, we do a lot of training. And we're there. But there's a lot of training we continue to do, both with Jeff, internally, by departments. Another one I heard Kelly bring up, a collecting process. Maybe changing that. Maybe we're off-song way there, possibly, and we could add a lot to bring it into on-song. I added passion. And I know a lot of you have passion for most of the season. So I think there's passion. So I think there's some passion, and maybe halfway through the season when everybody's kind of wearing out, have a passion retreat, and do something to reinvigorate and get everybody back on song. Another one was excitement. Kind of the same thing. Get exciting to come to work. It's exciting to be here. It's exciting to work for one of the best companies in the world. It's exciting to put together our engineered on-song plan. And maybe there's some things we could do, but we are exciting. So I think that's the ones I just added. So to wrap the on-song principle up, okay? And obviously, I hope obviously, you get the concept. If each one of you and each one of all these concepts are brought within this ring, and this ring is functioning with all these concepts, and you in this ring, that's when we hit ultimate performance. That's when we hit the sound that is very unique. And I'll say it again, you will hear that sound. People, when they walk into a dealership, and I've heard it at my stores, I walked into the Subaru store, something's electric in there. You can feel it, you can hear it, you can see it. As you're on song, people can hear it, feel it, see it, and you do too. And that's when your optimal performance happens. I challenge you. No, I want you. I need you to be OnSong.